connecting point. I am Dr. Marcy, your facilitator for this discussion today. And this is the place where creators connect to inspire, share their ideas and stories to change the world through raw and unedited talk. And today I am joined by Kristen, Joseph, the Rise Queen. And welcome to the connecting point, Kristen.
So happy to be here for the second time. I was here like last year, but I'm grateful to be here.
Yes. Actually, Kristen, I want to thank you because Kristen was actually, were you on the second show I did? I think so. Yeah. When I started this platform, I was new at it. I was trying to find my way and what to do. And so you and Diamond Blunt
me and Diamond.
allowed me to have a discussion with you. So yes, this is your second time, but today you're by yourself. Nobody else.
Yes.
And Kristen, I have to tell the connecting point here. Well, I can go back to, I think you were in 11th grade.
Mm-hmm. Carver High School. Were you?
Yep. Kristen was in the 11th grade at Carver School of the Arts. And I don't even remember the year. But my son met this wonderful young, well, I won't say teenage, you were in between.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And he started talking to this sweet girl. So I said, okay, let me check this girl out. Yes, because that's what we do. We check them out. And so I have known Kristen for some time now. I'm thinking about 8 years then.
Yep, 8 years. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I have seen her growth. I have seen her grow into an entrepreneur. And so we're going to go into some discussion today. But I want you, Kristen, to tell a little bit about where you're from and where you are now.
Okay. So I was originally born in Rockville, Maryland. That's up north, kind of like DC area, not too far from DC. Born and raised there, and then some way, somehow ended up in Georgia in my 11th grade year at Carver. Graduated School of the Arts at Carver, went to Payne. I was at Payne for a little bit and then transferred to UGA. And I'm still there, still just working my way through school and trying to merge it with my entrepreneurship journey. Yeah, I'm in Athens and I'm just creating, doing my thing in Athens. So
just creating. And so we're going to talk more about the journey into entrepreneurship, because I think that is something that the audience needs to hear. Young people in particular who are desiring to do it, but need that extra encouragement to do it. So if you would, Kristen, let's talk a little bit about what made you even start a business of your own.
So I kind of like dibbled and dabbled in entrepreneurship, just with like various skills and talents that I had, but I never really like went full force with it, I would say, until this year. And of course, like my business started in July, and around that time, the pandemic hit and things like that. And I was just really like, I don't know, like the pandemic kind of just had me thinking like about how like fragile things were and how like things can change in an instant, and how like, because, even schools and everything went online. It kind of just made me want to build something that was like concrete for myself, something that I can build and watch grow, and something that can't be like taken away from me or affected, you know what I'm saying, by anything else but myself. So I think that was like one of the main reasons. And I also wanted to kind of just build another source of income that also really didn't rely on like anything that a pandemic could stop, like education or, a job or anything, so those were my main reasons mostly.
But, I think, I know during the pandemic is when I started this platform.
Mm-hmm.
but for different reasons. It wasn't for income, because this has been really something that God told me to do. So it's actually become something that I am really enjoying. That's fulfilling part of who I'm purposed to be. Mm-hmm. But I saw a lot of people during the pandemic start businesses.
Yep.
Yeah, they started them. They started them.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying like a lot of millionaires were made during the pandemic. And I believe that, because I just feel like if you were paying attention, then you definitely, that thought came across your mind like, hey, I need to take full control of the wheel, because I think up until then, everybody didn't really realize like how just a switch of, on and off things could be. So.
And like you said, if you were paying attention, you had an opportunity to go into something that would be lucrative for you. But even before that, let's talk about the work.
Right.
And, because I'm finding that a lot of people, they look at the end product and they don't understand the work that is involved in building a company from scratch.
Right. Yep.
So can you talk a little bit about the hours that you have to, and I have watched you put in.
Yes.
And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, hours of knitting, which we'll talk about why it's knitting in a few moments.
So I really think you definitely have to have that like mindset change. Like you can't just jump into it thinking like, oh, because I want it, I'm going to get it. You have to be willing to put that work in. You have to be willing to like step out of your comfort zone and challenge yourself. And I really encourage a lot of people to do this, even if, entrepreneurship might not be your journey. Just find something that challenges you in a way that will help you grow, because I definitely can say that this journey, although it's only been a year, has helped me to grow in ways that I would have never imagined. So yeah, you definitely have to have the mindset change for it, and you have to be ready to give it your all, like, for sure.
Now, what areas have you had to grow in? That, like, I could tell people some of the areas I've had to grow into do this. Yeah. What areas have you had to grow in?
I'd say a big one for me is like accountability. Like when you're dependent on yourself to get things done and get work done, you can't blame anyone but yourself if it doesn't get done or if it doesn't come out the way you envisioned it. So accountability has definitely been like a big lesson for me. And I think that kind of falls into like procrastination too, because I know if I'm like holding myself accountable at the end of the day, like I can't procrastinate it, or I'm only going to disappoint myself. So that's one area. I would say organizing as well, because, in the beginning, you can kind of be unorganized. You can kind of like go off the whim. But like once things start picking up, things can kind of like run into each other, or it can just become like a lot if you're not organized. So those are 2 ways for sure I can think of.
Yeah. And I, just to piggyback off of what you said, I learned accountability and responsibility with raising children, but another layer came when I started working on degrees. Because I remember working on a master's degree, and at the time I was separated in my marriage, and I was like, okay, I got a child here. I want to get my master's degree. What's the best way for me to get it? Well, I had to do correspondence school where I was doing work and mailing it in. Back then, we mailed it in.
You didn't upload it, you mailed it in.
They gave you the assignment. You had to do phone conferences, and then you had 2 weeks to get it in. So I had to learn how to divvy my time up and working a job to get that work in. Well, the next layer came with working on a doctorate degree where it was not mailing it in. You had to have weekly things in. Plus you're working on this paper. Okay.
Yep.
And so I had to learn to manage and balance, which is another thing that's very important when you're working and you're doing entrepreneurship. But in your case, you're a student and a full-time student.
Right.
Right. Full-time student, working a job and working your own business. So how do you balance those three things?
Honestly, I like I said, the organization part comes into play as well. Prioritizing, time management, all those things like I didn't have before, and I'm still not perfect at it, but I'm still working on it and learning it. And I think just like using like inspiration and motivation from just like, working hard or seeing things come into fruition or, just, I don't know, just that motivation just to get stuff done. Cause I mean, if I want it, I have to do it. Like I have to get it done. So it's like no excuses. I just gotta do it.
And to be honest with your audience, nobody's gonna do it for you.
Nobody.
Nobody. Listen, I know my family loves me. I know I got friends who love me, but do you think they're going to work my business for me? No. So you have to put in the work. I cannot say that enough. Put in the work. It doesn't just fall in your lap. I know it looks like it.
Right. It definitely looks like it.
But there are hours, when I tell you, hours that go into school. If you're in school, I had another conversation with one of my former students, Sean Hendricks, who is a recording artist, and he's juggling school and doing that. And it's hours. And guess what? He gets weary.
Yeah.
We get tired. You get tired.
You get tired. You get frustrated. You get angry. You just
all of that.
You don't know what's going on sometimes. Sometimes you're like, okay, is this reality? Am I you snap back into reality when things get hard, but you just gotta keep going.
You have to keep going. And so I just want to take this little moment here to encourage someone. I know it might not feel good. I know you want to throw in the towel and say, forget this. Don't do it. Just keep putting in the work, because there are little rewards along the way, aren't there?
Yes.
You talk about the little rewards that you see along the way that inspire you to keep going.
I know for me, just hearing about like how my business positively affects somebody really like reminds me of how important it is that I am doing the work, because it's just like, I think you get so busy in it, you get so caught up in it that you forget like your why or your purpose behind it. So that's definitely something that keeps me encouraged. When I meet people, whether it's like for the first time or through Instagram or anything, and they're just like, yeah, I love what you do. I love your work. I've seen you around town. And you're like, I don't even know who you are. I don't know what you do, but thank you for, even acknowledging me. That makes me feel good. There was something else that I wanted to say. Yeah, and the connections that I make. A lot of my opportunities come from the connections I make. I do vending events and things like that, and I do set up, around town in many different places. But I really think that people have helped to like build my business more than anything, because like, I don't know, like I said, I've met so many different people, and so many different people come with different backgrounds. They come from different interests, and they come from just different perspectives, and they all bring something unique with them. And those unique opportunities have helped me to grow and help my business grow as well. So connections.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. Relationships in business, well, in life in general. I've always told my children, and I say it in the workplace, my students as well, treat people right.
Right.
If you treat people right and give them good product or good service, they will come back.
Yep. And they'll come with a few more people too.
They're going to bring people. Chick-fil-A is not the chicken the reason why I go there. Because you get chicken in my kitchen. But it is because they give you a quick service, a quality service,
right,
and they are pleasant with good customer service, and they know how to treat people. And so that is a key thing when you're dealing with relationships as well. During this time of building the connecting point, I did not realize how many people that I've been connected to over the years. It's like God was just putting them in my face. These are the people you have been connected with. It made an impact in my life, and I have made one in theirs. And because of the positive impact, we can piggyback off each other and start a connecting point that then can now transform the world.
Right.
So your relationships, even from years back, can be something that catapults your business or whatever you're trying to do to the next level.
Yep.
And so we've gone in this conversation and we haven't really told what you do. I mentioned knitting, but can you tell the audience what it is that you do?
Yes. So I am a crochet artist. Crochet and knitting are very similar but different. Crochet is one needle, knitting is two, and we make the same thing. Sometimes you really can't tell whether something's knitted or crocheted. But I do make crochet like home decor. I make fashion, and I also make like accessories as well. Some of my favorite things to make and sell are like earrings, purses. People really love my purses. What else do I make? Oh my gosh, I forgot.
Pot holders.
Pot holders. It's like I make so many different things. It's like I'm trying to think. Hats, scrunchies. I make a lot of different, just fun accessories to wear and kind of like dress up your outfit. During the summer, I do sell like bralettes and skirts. But I mostly stick to just like home decor and accessories and things like that.
Yeah, and in watching you, when you were in high school, you weren't even thinking about that, were you?
Not at all. Like, and it's so funny. It's so funny.
Did you crochet at all when you were in high school?
I knew how to knit back then, but I taught myself how to crochet like my third year at Payne. That's when I really picked it up.
Oh, you just said something interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to piggyback off of that too. You taught yourself.
Yes. And I love mentioning it because a lot of people come up to me when they see me work off me, and I always tell them like, you have to take your time, because if you don't take your time, like you're not going to pick it up. Crochet is not something that you can just like watch one video and now you're like, you can do everything. It's like a journey. So yeah, but I always tell people I learned on YouTube. Like YouTube, I still learn on YouTube. Like if I'm trying to figure something out, or if I want to learn a new stitch or expand my knowledge on something, first place I go is YouTube. So
it's mainly if you want it, go get it.
Yeah.
That's there's no magic formula. If you want it, go get it. I remember, since you mentioned YouTube, I think my daughter might have been elementary school. And I wanted her hair to look a certain way. She wanted the braids or whatever and the little curly. And I took her to a friend from Ghana to get her hair braided. I sat there with my child 8 hours. And I said, I'd never do that again. Because I do not like wasting time. People who know me, they say, you look like you always got a goal. I said, because I don't like wasting time. I do. I don't have time to waste now. But when I sat there, I said, I'm not doing it. There's got to be another way. I came home and started watching YouTube. So the next time it was time for her hair to be done, I did it in 4 hours, and that was it. And so I did it up until even people were asking, who did your hair? Or this man stopped me in the beauty shop. He said, can you just do my daughter's hair? I said, sir. No, I don't do it. But my point being is, If you want it, it's out there.
Yep. And this is like the golden age. This is the golden age of it. We are in like the best time for anybody to start a business, to run a course, to do whatever you desire, because the information is free. It's literally on the internet.
It's
might have to dig for it, but it's there. So
this is the research era. You know, the school systems, we try to teach children how to research. That's one of the skills that we try to teach, communication. But researching is something we do anyway. When you're on Facebook, what are you doing? Researching.
Yep.
You're on Instagram, what are you doing? You're researching. You're looking at people, trying to find out what they're doing. Well, use that same thing that you're doing to research something that you love to do, and your passion is something that can potentially start your own business. Okay. Right. Now, Kristen, in your journey as a student, a crochet artist, what are some things that have made you feel like throwing in the towel?
I would have to say the times where like I'm like most tested and I really question whether I want to do it or not is when I've spent like weeks preparing for a market and I'll go and not sell anything. And I'm just like, I know my stuff is great. I know people love my stuff. You know, I know my stuff would look good in their house or with their outfit, but like, why are people not buying my stuff? Like, I think that's like the main thing. Even now, sometimes, I still get a little discouraged because like I don't know how to price my stuff just yet because like I'm still a new business. I'm still trying to get like my name out there and things like that. So it kind of can be like frustrating when like somebody comes up to me and they're like, hey, how much is this? And I tell them and they're like, that's too high. Or I'll go to somebody else and they'll be like, hey, how much is this? And I'll tell them and they'll be like, that's too low. You know, like I even went to a party, a bonfire party, and I had made an outfit for a girl and she was wearing it. I didn't even know she was going to be wearing it. And like all of her friends were sitting around and we were chatting and they were like, hey, how much did you charge her for the outfit? And I told them, and they like literally all her friends drugged me through the mugs. They were just like, oh my God, like you should have charged way more than that. Why did you charge so? And I had to sit there and like, just take it because they were right. You know, I do deserve to be paid my worth. I don't know if like this is a good mindset to have behind it, but I just feel like I have to work myself up to being able to confidently charge somebody, you know, what I think I am worth before I can just walk up and be like, oh yeah, this is how much I'm charging. And somebody's like, well, you know, validate your price. And I'm just like, well, it's because I said so. It's like, no, that's not how it works, you know? So those are some things that really frustrate me, but I also just like take it in and just figure out how to do better next time. So. Yeah.
And I'm glad you mentioned, these are some good pointers to mention when you are in your business. You know, I know people in the music arena who, yeah, they're very talented, have wonderful product, but no one knows them. And so they want to sell their product at a price that someone who's already known is selling their product for, and it doesn't do well. It's not that the product is not quality, it's that you haven't built your brand or you haven't built the trust of the consumers, okay? That's a part of it, the part of building trust.
Yes.
For instance, I can't sit on here and say, okay, I'm going to start the connecting point, and I haven't made any connections over the years. It would have been very difficult for me if every relationship I had, I tore it up, or I wasn't having good character or something, and then trying to build a platform from it. It probably would not pan out. I wouldn't have been able to call anybody and say, will you be on the show or whatever.
Right.
What I'm saying is you have to build up the trust in your product or your service.
Yes.
Now, once you do that, I'm a firm believer in getting paid for your service.
Yes, because why else would you go into business for yourself? You do want to get paid.
That's right. You want to get paid.
Right.
And I'm just gonna say it like it is because this is raw and unedited talk. Just take it.
It is what it is.
Let's take it now. Our community, and I'm talking about African American. I love our community. I love our culture. Oh my gosh, I love it. The one thing that I don't like or that kind of bothers me is sometimes we think just because you're the same skin color as I am, I'm supposed to give you my service for free.
Yeah. I personally I don't know. I think when it comes to crochet, I deal with just a lot of people kind of being like uneducated about it, and they figure, well, this is just like yarn, it's like I don't have to pay you what you're asking for some yarn, and I think it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of, I don't know, it's bittersweet because it's like I feel good when I feel like I'm exposing, what I'm saying, our community to like something different, something new, but it's also just like, I don't know, like a punch in the face, when you have to deal with like the lack of support or just like I said, the lack of understanding or just like, yeah, that friend discount kind of thing, I just feel like if you're really my friend, you wouldn't ask for a discount, You would, so,
right.
I don't know.
Right.
But
it's about exposure, but then there are times you can expose them to and they still won't do it.
Yeah.
A dear friend of mine, and I'm gonna call his name, Mr. James Green. He said, listen, if they don't pay for the service, there is somebody who will move on.
Yep. And I think
because God has somebody that can and will.
Yep.
So when I began to look at it that way, I said, you know what? You are absolutely right. Those who are designed to sow into you, to give, whether it doesn't always have to be money, it could be, listen, I want to go buy some yarn for you. Here's some yarn, or, I want to set up a table for you at my event, or it can be all kind of ways to support. However, if they don't, they weren't meant to.
Right. And that's totally fine. Like you said, it's better for you. Well, I feel like for me, it's better for me just to accept the people who are accepting of me than for me to try and convince people who are, making the journey hard. It's like, you really just stress yourself out and you really put yourself at a disadvantage because you're sitting here trying to figure out why these people aren't supporting you when you have all these people over here who are like celebrating you, and you could be focusing on that and growing with that instead of like, putting your energy towards the not so positive. So
yeah, so out there, if you're looking at doing anything that is related to your purpose and calling and passion, whether it's entrepreneurship or not, like Kristen mentioned, you still gonna have to do these things.
Yep.
You still have to have time management. You still have to have a goal. You still have to have balance. You still have to formulate relationships. I don't care what you're doing. You're gonna have to formulate relationships. You cannot do anything by yourself.
And right. I also want people to know, like, it is also okay to just be yourself. Like, I'm not an extrovert. Like, anybody who knows me knows.
She is not.
Literally sit and not say anything. Just enjoy just being there. But I mean, I feel like I've found ways to show my personality, whether it be through like my art, whether it be through things I post on my social media when I'm like promoting my stuff. There's always a way to like, tailor things to you. So don't feel like you have to like go out here and be like, this big personality or put on a persona because like, I don't know. I always encourage people to be themselves. I feel like that's the best way to be yourself. just do that. And I feel like that will take you further than trying to be something you're not. So
to me, it's too much work to be somebody else.
it is a lot of work.
Too much work. Come on now. I'm good at being me.
It's easy.
Yeah, it's easy to be me. And Kristen knows me. I am an extrovert.
But that works for you because of what you're
But
doing.
it works for me.
Right, exactly.
And because you're introverted, I have a daughter who's introverted. Y'all get along good because y'all both introverted. But listen, just because you're introverted doesn't mean I don't understand your point of view. It's just that we roll different ways.
Right.
Okay. I'm the one that might come down the street dancing, talking, and y'all might be the one sitting back in the cut. So it's,
right.
It is, be yourself. I say that all the time. Just be yourself, people, and do you. And the first thing you have to do, though, is discover why you're here. Why are you here?
Right.
How is what you're doing connected to why you are here? And once you discover that, one of the most powerful things you can ever do is to discover it.
Yep.
And then start moving in that. That's how you're able to keep going when you get tired, because you know the why, you know the purpose for which you're doing it and why you're here.
Yep.
So, Kristen, I tell you, I'm proud of you. You're doing things. There are more doors opening as we speak. They're opening doors we don't even see. We haven't even entered our imaginations. They're opening.
Right.
And our job is to walk through the open opportunities, open doors, walk through them.
Gratefully.
And keep reinventing. You can take that one gift you have, and it can be all kind of ways.
Yep.
All kind of ways. And speaking of that, you have some creations, I'm sure, nearby.
Yes.
Can you share some with the audience?
Yes. Let me get back up. Sorry. I'm like, this is the most comfortable position I could get in for this. So
yeah, she is not in her regular place.
No, I'm not. I'm at home, but I'm not at home. So
she kind of had an experience today. So just let's bear with each other. We're being ourselves.
So what I'm about to show is something that I just kind of made like on a whim. I didn't really, I don't know, like I got the idea and I just was like, okay, I'm gonna just make it before it leaves my mind. So I'm gonna show you the biggest thing first. It is.
Oh, and I saw that. Oh my gosh. I said, you have made a doll?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Y'all, that's a doll.
And I really, like I said, I don't know where the idea came from. I just kind of like had the vision and was like, okay, I'm gonna like put it out. And really like stuff like this, I don't really like post on my website. I don't really like push it too much, because I feel like if I was to make something like this for somebody, it would have to be like dear to them, because it took me a long time and it's a lot of like passion and creativity that went into this. So I don't know, I would just want it to go to somebody who would like respect the passion,
the art.
The art basically. So yep, this is my first one that I've ever made. So I might get bigger and better. I know she doesn't have a mouth. Everybody's just like, where's her mouth?
Yeah, and I said, Kristen, you gotta put some earrings on that doll.
I know. So that's her. And then so October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's also domestic violence awareness month and fertility awareness month as well. And I am raising money right now for the Athens Regional Breast Health Program at Piedmont Hospital, which is just like the local program, or the local hospital, excuse me, in Athens. And for that, I'm making keychains that are
those are so cute.
Yes, of like, boobies, but it is for a great cause. So these keychains are $25 on my website, but they for every sale that I make, I'm donating 20% towards my fundraiser. So those are just some of the projects that I have like on hand right now. Because like I said, I'm not at home.
Yeah, She's not at home, but we can see the work.
Yes, you can always go on my Instagram. I have a bunch of stuff on my Instagram and my website as well. So,
Kristen, can you tell everyone how to get to your what do you call your what do you call it, y'all? Your what?
My Instagram?
Whatever they call it. Y'all know y'all young people can remember those things.
My website?
Your Instagram, your website, email, give them all that information.
So the place that I always like direct people to is Instagram. I do have a Facebook page, but I'm not very active on it just because I'm still trying to learn how to use Facebook. So Instagram.
Did y'all hear that? It's been a love crew. We know how to do something they don't know how to do.
I'm still learning, but Instagram, I'm on Instagram at Creations by Rise, and it's just Creations by Rise. And my website and all of like the articles and like my events and stuff that I've done in Athens is listed in my bio. I have like a little link tree there. So if you want to see more of my stuff and learn more about me, or if you ever happen to be in Athens and wonder if you can come buy something, all the information is there.
Well, Kristen, thank you so much for sharing with us some good nuggets on entrepreneurship and sharing your creativity with us. And like I say every week, if you would like to be a part of this platform to come discuss some things, to inspire others, to encourage others, to share your ideas and stories, to help change the world for the better, look me up, Dr. Marcy's Connections, or you can go to Integrative Arts Creations or Integrative Arts at att.net. This show airs on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m., Instagram TV and YouTube. You also can see this show on KBCN TV on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Now, there is a special group you can also join if you would like to be a part of a group of progressive creators like Kristen, myself, and now I think the number has grown to like almost 330 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's grown now. That tells you everybody's a creator.
Mm-hmm.
If you would like to join us, we have a group on Facebook called the Connecting Point for Creators Group. Look us up if you know how to use Facebook. That means you're with the older folk. You know how to do it. If you know how to use Facebook, then look up the Connecting Point for Creators Group and ask for a request an invite. And we would love to have you. That is a place that we get, some inspiration throughout the week, daily inspiration, and we promote and support each other. Mm-hmm. Okay, so thank you again, Kristen.
Yes.
Until we have this moment again.
Yes.